The temptation might be to take a log to get x down from the exponent position. But the problem is you can't do that because the log is an exponent. It doesn't have distributive property. So you can't say log of this minus log of that equals log of that. There's no distribution of a logarithm. But one thing we can do is make this left side look awfully similar. Isn't that the same thing? Because if you have a power on top of a power, they multiply. So I've just rewritten the problem. It's still the same problem, but I did that so I can make a substitution. Now we can say u is 3 to the x. So we got u here, u here. The u substitution allows us to have a much simpler equation to solve. Just make sure you recognize that u to the negative first means 1 over u. And if you're trying to solve for u, that means you've got to get it out of the denominator of a fraction. So you've got to multiply everything by u. So I'll give you u squared minus 1 equals 4u. And then to finish getting u by itself, you have to subtract 4u from both sides. And we subtracted 4u from both sides because you got to recognize it's quadratic. If u squared is the highest power and there's no other funny business, it's a quadratic equation. This one you have to solve by factoring. So you say negative b, negative 4 makes a positive 4, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all being divided by 2a. So I'm going to let you crunch those numbers, but when you do, you should get this for u. You'll get in the quadratic formula those two values for u. But that's not your answer because remember, you're using the quadratic formula on u. You got to go back to your substitution on u and plug those in. Shoot, where we had 4.236. I'll plug that in where u is supposed to go in that green substitution part. Then we also had negative 0.236. I'll plug that also in for u. Negative 0.236 equals 3. So you got to solve these smaller equations, and then you'll have x. And recognize that x is in the exponent position, so you need a logarithm. So take a log of both sides. Could be natural log, could be common log, whatever you want. I need to take a log of that side too, but I just don't have room to fit it in. But look what happens if you try to take a log of both sides on this one. Can't take a log of a negative number. This is an impossibility, so we scratch that out. That one's not possible. Oops, get out of here. So let's focus on this one. Right now, we took a natural log of 3 to the x to make the x come down. We got natural log 4.236 over here. So to get x by itself, that's x times natural log 3. Just divide natural log 3 from both sides. So finally, when you do that, you can get your answer in the calculator. X is whatever this computation is here. Natural log 4.236 divided by natural log 3.